All right, what we're going to do today is learn how to create a theme statement. So let's just review really quickly what theme is. Theme is the meaning, the life lesson, or the moral of a story. You can think about it as the message that the author is trying to get across to us, the reader, what they're trying to teach us. So in order to start a theme statement, we need to look at topics that occurred within the text that we read. So we're going to use Touching Spirit Bear as our example. So we're going to think of topics. So the list that I came up with for Touching Spirit Bear topics includes isolation, anger, banishment, forgiveness, trust, and bullying. So I'm going to work off of anger here. So what I need to do is put this into a sentence format now. So if I'm thinking about a message that the author believes and it has to do with anger, what I might write down is anger clouded Cole's judgment and made him do things he regretted. So we do have to modify this a little bit because if you're doing a theme statement, you can't have a character's name or a specific setting because you have to be able to apply a theme statement to other pieces of writing. And not every piece of writing that we read is going to have a main character named Cole. So what we might do is change Cole to people. So if we modify this to make it more universal, we'll have a statement that says, anger clouds people's judgment and makes them do things they regret. So the second part is that we have to be able to prove our theme statement with the text that we used. So if anger clouded Cole's judgment, I have to think of a time when this occurred, and I could say, oh, that occurred when he burned down his shelter when he was on the island. It was the only place he had for safety, had all his supplies and food in it. So we can say, yeah, he burned down his shelter, and that is evidence that anger clouded Cole's judgment. So what you guys are going to do is work on creating the theme, what's the big idea assignment. So it's the same kind of format that we went over in the presentation. So we're going to have topics that we're going to list in the first box. We're going to have evidence to prove that happened, and then we're going to put a theme statement together. So if you look at the one that we already did from the PowerPoint, we used anger. The evidence was Cole burns down his only shelter, and that anger clouds people's judgment and makes them do things they regret. Because remember, this one has to be universal. So we have to take out those character names. Okay, so for this second part, what I'm going to have you guys try is to use anger again and find another piece of evidence that supports our idea. So if you're doing that, you might think of another statement like, Cole beats up Peter for telling on him. Okay, that's another great example. That's another piece of evidence. And then it still fits into our theme statement. And then what you guys would also try is maybe some other topics. Anger might not be the one you would choose. So we could do one on forgiveness maybe. So if we did that, we would have to change the theme statement, but we would still find evidence and we would still be going off a topic. So if we did forgiveness on this one, so let's change this to blue, forgiveness. So an example of forgiveness, Cole forgives himself for hurting others. Okay, so that's evidence about forgiveness that occurs. So now we're going to have to go down here and change the theme statement. So let's use our word forgives. So let's see, people have to forgive themselves before they can get past their anger. Okay, and so for Cole, this happened because he couldn't move forward. So he had to forgive himself before he could leave the island and start his healing process. Okay, so we have done different examples here, and so what I'm going to have you do is try this on your own. I give the example of anger on the left side. What you're going to do is pick one of the words up here or create your own. You're going to provide evidence, and then you're actually going to make your own statement down here. So we'll just draw a line across. So you're going to decide what that looks like, and I will check back in with you.